Hey everybody, Spider-Kel back once again for another DC chess collection review, number 22, Red Hood. Red Hood was one that when it was announced, I kind of questioned who he was, why he was being brought into it and all of this, because for me, Red Hood has always been the Joker from the comic series of The Killing Joke, where you see the guy who is ultimately going to become Joker, duped into taking on the Red Hood persona so that he can take the fall for a crime that will happen. He's ultimately chased by Batman, falls into a vat of chemical, and the rest, as they say, is history. Then again, there is doubt over that one because there is so many other origins that he talks about, almost as if he's almost forgotten or confused as to which one really happened. But because of that, Red Hood has always been linked to the Joker. For myself as well, because that is the only time I ever came across the Red Hood character. So when this was announced, I thought, there was obviously much more to it. Then obviously I find out that Red Hood now is taken on by Jason Todd, who of course is the old Robin, who was killed, Batman's biggest failure, as he's sometimes referred to, and which is something I didn't know. And in one of my previous reviews, I believe it was for Red Robin, I had said at that time that we had all of the Robins on the board except for Jason Todd. I'd said that we had Dick Grayson in the form of Nightwing, we had Tim Drake in the form of Red Robin, we had Damian Wayne in the form as the current Robin, and the only one we were missing was Jason Todd. Obviously I was wrong on that one, and I do remember someone did actually mention that on that review. It didn't occur to me about the fact that Jason Todd was on the board because he's on the opposite side. And that's what threw me. And that's something I find very interesting about this one, that we do have all the Robins on the board, but one of them is on the Joker side, the bad guy, the villain side, if you like, which is quite interesting. Especially considering that Jason Todd has always been reckless, and he's always been headstrong and all of that, but Batman saw something in him, took him in under his wing. He was ultimately killed by the Joker. Then he comes back and tries to basically avenge his own death by trying to kill Joker. And then when that doesn't work out, takes on the Red Hood persona in order to dish out his own brand of justice. Basically with the slogan, let the punishment fit the crime. So in technicality, he is still a good guy, because he is basically killing people, but he's killing cold-hearted criminals themselves. You know, he's never killed an innocent person. It's his way of doing it, I suppose. And there was one thing I read in this magazine where they said he was eventually caught by Batman and took to Arkham Asylum, but argued successfully that although yes, he did kill people, he's not technically insane. So then they moved him to a prison where he promptly kills 80 people. And then it causes him to be taken straight back to Arkham Asylum because, yes, obviously you are insane. So I did quite find that funny. But, yeah, and he's worked alongside Batman and Robin a couple of times while using the Red Hood persona. So I find it quite interesting that he is on the villain side. I mean, for me, yes, there is no question that he should be on that side. But that is why it didn't cross my mind at the time that Jason Todd is on the board. It is pretty cool, though, that they managed to do it this way and still have Jason on there. So that's always a good thing. But for me, Red Hood is always affiliated with the Joker. It's just because that's where I first came into introduction with the Red Hood. And it's the only story I've ever read with the Red Hood. Still to this day, I've never read any of the ones with Jason Todd in. So for me, Red Hood is the Joker, but he's obviously not. But enough about his backstory, let's get into the figure itself. And here we have the Red Hood figure. And although it's a pretty cool character and a pretty cool story to it, this is, as you can probably see, one of those pieces that just doesn't have much going for it. Which, again, as always, is nothing against the way that Eagle Moss has done it. They have represented Red Hood exactly how he looks, exactly with the costume that he has. It's just one of those costumes that doesn't have anything. I mean, we usually go straight into the face, and for the first time, we don't have one. We have a massive red-hooded dome. And that's it. I suppose the one good thing from this is that they could never get the eyes wrong on this one. So we could always take that as an advantage. But yeah, that is pretty much the head. It is really nice. What more can you say about it? It is basically a dome painted red. Good paint job on it. A couple of paint smears that go into the black at the top there. Where obviously they've gone across, which... I don't know, maybe they could have done a bit better with that one. You know, all you've got is a red dome. You know, maybe the paintwork could have been a little bit more up to scratch on this one, but there we go, never mind. I do like the guns on this. I think the guns are very well sculpted, extremely well sculpted. I really do like both of them, and the way his arms are crossed in front of him. We also have the red, almost like a red skull motif on his front there. And it does really make you think of, I mean, his character itself, his bio and everything about him does really make you think of the Punisher from Marvel. And with that red skull on his front, it makes you think of him even more. It's very much a Punisher sort of character, you know, it's a vigilante who basically dishes out his own sort of justice by killing people in quite a brutal way. So it is very much almost like a Punisher. I do like the cape and the folds in there. Again, very dynamic, almost as if it's moving, and that is really nice sculpting. Then on the front we have this bright silver sort of costume, which is, again, it's exactly as it looks on the comic and on the front cover and everything, so it's a very good representation. A really nice bright glossy silver that they've used on here, which is really, really nice. And then down to his boots, basically, which start from above his knees and go all the way down. That's it. That's all you can say about this. Apart from the stand, again, we have a Joker figure. Once again, another very, very good stand for the Joker. And yesterday actually, I got my next two in the line, which were Alfred and Batwoman. And again, with Alfred's base, Alfred has a really good base, but when I put it on the board, because there's more of the pawns now than there has been before, it really, really does show how on the Batman side the base is very, very, very much from being extremely good to very poor. Whereas on the Joker side, pretty much all of these are of good quality, which is a huge shame. It's not even like slight differences in the Batman side. I mean, as I showed with the Black Canary, that is a shockingly bad base. And then you have Commissioner Gordon, which is an amazing base. And the rest of them are just kind of, you know, mid, sort of, between that. And it does really stand out on the board, whereas all of the Joker's villain side, the bases are all extremely nice. So just question why that's the case, and on Batman's side it's so different, but there we go. Anyway, back to Red Hood. And there's nothing much more you can say about it. He has a red hood, he has really nice guns, he has a good nice red skull. It's one of those pieces where it's just... yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. It's a good piece. There's just not much going for it. And that is pretty much all you can say about it. So I shall leave it at that before I start rambling again. So thank you everyone for watching. I hope you enjoyed this review, and I shall try and come back very soon for the next one. But before I go, I would like to say that I have just recently opened up a Twitter account for this page. I shall put the details just down here. It's at Spider-Kel27, so if you'd like to follow me on that, I will be using that to kind of air my views about different things. I'm going to be putting one up there soon about what I think of Alfred and the Batwoman. I'll be using it for the Automobilia reviews as well. Basically just talking about pieces as and when I get them and my initial first reactions. So if you'd like to follow me on there, then please do. It'd be great to see you over there. But yeah, so other than that, take care everyone. Hope you enjoyed the review. I shall see you very soon, but until then, bye.